When I start each program, I talk about what I did when I was a kid and what I can remember about the 1950s and early 60s. And Murray's got a stall here at the Kumuyu car show that covers just about everything I ever talked about. What we've got here is a collection of telephones from probably about 1915 through to about the 1960s. But I just remember party lines. Do you remember party lines?
Yeah, we had one at home. Yep.
How many people were on it?
5.
And so
ours was long, short, long.
And so everybody had their little code. But
Yeah.
I just remember Grandma's phone number was 72. So yeah, I'm still around. How you doing?
Good seeing you, fella.
Yeah. And then we come to these old Tilly lamps,
Yep.
and you pump the kerosene up and it all ran on pressure. And I saw a big Bonzo marble here somewhere.
Oh yeah, it's down here.
Oh, really?
So what we've got here is marbles, but
Yeah.
you played marbles and these were called Bonzos.
Yep.
And some people use ball bearings.
Yeah. Oh, steelies they used to call them.
Yeah. And your eye dropped on one of these
And smash those to bits. Yeah. Yeah.
But I just remember you used to have to call out what you couldn't do
Yeah.
before you even started the game. Right, you're not allowed to do flicks, no molly hawks, no this, no that, no blah, 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 blah. Just interesting. But
Yeah.
what we've also got in front of me here is looks like a pencil sharpener, is it?
No, it's butter tune.
A butter tune.
Yeah.
Looks like you could make an outboard motor out of that. Outboard.
Pretty much.
That's amazing. And just in front of the egg beaters, remember I was talking about egg beaters? And what we've got here is this is a cream used to come in a bottle like this.
Yep.
And at school you used to get about the same size. They had a little cardboard bit in the top with a hole in the middle.
Yeah.
So you get rid of that and put the straw and drink it. And when you finish that, with the little bit of cardboard you had left over, you sort of went round and round and round and round with the wall, then chopped it all out and you made a pom-pom for your hat.
There you go.
Amazing.
Were they the old school milk bottles?
Yeah, well, something like that they were, yeah.
I was a school milk boy, and you used to get ones, yeah, that's just got a plain lip in it. You get ones that had little nicks all the way around, and we used to call them kings or queens, and we figured out they had more cream in them than the other ones. Like
Oh, okay.
you know, I was 5-year-old kids, and, oh yeah, I got a kingy, yay!
But Murray, you've got just about everything I ever talked about
Yeah.
lined up here, and good on you, mate. You're going to sell all this at the show, are you?
No, people will come and say they like it, but they just look at it and reminisce like yourself and walk on by.
So this is the nostalgia award.
Yeah, I mean, I love the old stuff, so,
Yes,
you know,
yes.
it's
Good
a
on
bit of
you.
a passion, I just love it. Yeah. Or addiction, one of the two.
Yeah. So you go to other shows?
Yeah, I mean, it's been pretty hard pressed to go out with what's been going on around,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
hopefully they'll start opening up again and we'll be able to.
Good on you. So if you're out in the car shows, folks, just watch out for Murray. He might just have that perfect thing you're looking for. In 1946, just after the war, in America, chrome became available. And this is a 1946 Chev. And you can just look at the chrome. They've just gone overboard with the amount of chrome that they put on right around the bonnet, the little guy on the top, little bonnet design, the grille. Chrome for Africa. Around the windscreens, the searchlight on the other side there, everything is chrome. And in the middle there, it looks like it's got a 3-speed, 3 on the tree, big clock, and it just has lights for the oil temperature and amps. This is just absolutely stunning, and it says it's for sale. So we'll see what that says. 1946 Chev Sports Sedan, New Zealand new, which means it's right-hand drive, which is great. 2356 with hydraulic lifters, no rust, rewired. Too many extras to list. 16,000 miles since they restored it, and includes the personalised plates. And has a new warrant of fitness, and you can own this for just $45,000. A Fleetmaster, 45,000 grand, and it's yours. And the number 027 281 6050. 027 281 6050, and it could be yours. When I was a boy, 1957, a lot of taxis were these cars, and Mum ordered one once, and we were waiting, and one of these come round the end of the street. We lived in a little cul-de-sac, turned up outside our place, tooted its horn, and we all went, wow, we're going to town in that. And look at it, absolutely beautiful. And what I remember about these things is the fins at the back. And the Americans, they love fins. And I think this is probably 1957, 58. But if you look at this and what the English were building in 1957, 58, you'd think, oh, okay. So the Americans, they certainly sort of went all out when they built a car. I'm not quite sure how long this is. It's got to be sort of 6 meters long. It's got a boot you can sleep in. It's got a great big huge V8 that we'll look at in a minute under there. But one thing about this thing is the hubcaps. You just got to take a look at those hubcaps, and somebody somewhere's gone to the trouble of making them. Isn't that amazing? Then we come to the driving station and the pull-out handles. Some of them you push a button, some of them you lift up, some of them you sort of pushed in, but these pull out. And like all cars of this era, they've all got this little piece here that means you can get your legs in underneath without skinning them or bumping your knee or something like that. But just looking in here, it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 dials and a great big long wide speedometer. You can see how fast you're going. It's got the old push button radios, and they were fun. Just sort of programmed it by pushing a button. Nothing's automatic these days, but it's got a 3-speed on the tree, 3 on the tree, so you pull it back for first, up for second, down for third, and back towards you and up is reverse. Very simple. So it's right-hand drive. Apparently it came factory in New Zealand. Todd Motors down in Wellington put these things together. They arrived in a box and they unpacked it all and built it all, and out the door it went, and people enjoyed them. So I'll just jump in here and come have a look at this. I've seen them, enjoyed looking at them, but I've never actually sat behind the wheel. So this is an absolute first time for everything. But as I was saying, we've got a temperature gauge, oil pressure, a clock, fuel gauge, and an amp meter, all in a whole string of gauges. And then there's a great big huge speedo there with how far it's got, and it says it's gone 75,000 k, but who knows how many, it's actually miles, how many miles it's gone. But these things used to go to 100,000 miles. 100,000 miles, and the cars these days, they reckon they're stuff when they've done 100,000 k. So they've got another 60,000 k to go to get to the 100,000 mile mark. But the other thing about these things is the mirror was sort of on the dashboard rather than up here, which sometimes you can see, sometimes you can't. On my 1951 Studebaker, I had the mirror was there, and it was always just a little bit difficult to see what was coming behind. So I actually lifted it a wee bit so I could see that better. But the controls, everything's where it should be. And as I said before, sitting in this thing is like, you've got a football field in front of you. Yeah, wrap round windscreens. I don't know how hard they are to make a great big windscreen like that, but anyway, it's good to be able to sit beside one of these things and enjoy it. And sitting in the back there, there's a ton of room, and it's got this little door lock here. So window winder, up and down, the door handle, and then this is just a little to lock the door. And at the back of this, of course, we've got these 2 enormous fins. And in as I said, probably around about 56 to 60 fins were in. They were the great thing. And I saw a car here at the Kumuyu car show that actually got another fin stuck up on top of the original fin. So they've got a fin on a fin. But just have a look at this enormous boot. There's enough room in there to put all sorts of things, including yourself. And Colin, the owner of this car, said one of the Kumuyu shows he came to, he decided he was going to stay overnight, so he just stretched out in here and stayed the night, got up in the morning and carried on. But a huge boot space. And like a lot of these cars, got fantastic logos, chrome everywhere, and amazing. Let's have a look at the other end, at the engine. So looking in here, we've got a 277 V8. Relatively small, I suppose, but that's what's in it, and I guess that's what came with it back in the day. Plenty of it, and you can see the ground. And if you've got one of these that was 6 cylinders, he was telling me they could actually sit on top of the engine, sitting in there, fixing things. It was amazing. But again, it's just a massive engine bay. Amazing. So there you go, folks. The old Dodge Plymouth DeSoto. Melbourne Lime, every time. Melbourne Lime, available all over the Southland district and beyond. Top grade lime that's been available year after year. Call them on 03 417 8228. The next time you need lime, think Melbourne Lime, every time. What I've got here is a copy of Talking Trucks. This is a book I wrote a couple of years ago, and it's the history of New Zealand trucking. And it's all from the programs that I did between 2013 and 2016. I'm going to let this go for $25. So it's a special. So if you'd like your copy, there's my phone number, 027 277 0717. Just send me a text or email me, billhohepper@extra.co.nz to get your copy. $25 and the history of New Zealand trucks. Our old truck tour leaves Auckland on the 5th of February. Now we've had a couple of people pull out, so if you'd like to join us in our busload of people, you can email me, billhohepper@extra, or send me a text, 027 277 0717, or even ring me, and I'll send you all the details, and I'm sure you'll absolutely enjoy yourself. So we leave Auckland, head to Wellington over 5 days, cross over on the ferry, and then pretty much circumnavigate the South Island, looking at old trucks and machinery as we go. So there you go. There's my email, there's my contact number. Give me a call. Well, what we've got here is something really, really unusual, and you tell me, Brian, it's Kiwi.
Yes, these are made in Onehunga by a company called Chevron Engineering. So they're made in the late 80s, early 90s, right up until just the 2000s. And then they dried up. So it's a Chevron, yeah, it's...
Chevron being just the name that they called it in Onehunga. So
yes, that's correct.
So it's an absolute Kiwi car.
Yes, definitely.
A bit like the, what was it, the Trekker?
It doesn't have a Lada motor in it or Lada running gear, but you could say that, yes. Yeah. It's type approved for New Zealand.
Oh, yes.
So it made registering them a lot easier. And yeah, they are a Kiwi car.
Fiberglass?
So yes, the scuttle panel, bonnet and guards are fiberglass with a 40mm frame with aluminium skin around it.
Oh, okay. Wow.
So incredibly strong, way over engineered. So they last forever.
This is like sitting on the ground, isn't it, really?
Yes.
So I'm not even going to try.
It's a tight space even for me, I'm afraid. Well-rounded people need to take the seats out and sit on the floor.
I love these little windscreens. Do you have a registration sticker or do you just have that in the pocket somewhere?
Well, what I normally do once they're fully legal is I'll have a little motorcycle registration holder that holds the rego and warrant of fitness. This one I've just sort of finished. I've only got it back from the upholsterer a couple of weeks ago. We're still waiting to go through compliance with it. So what I do is, because most of these cars have been registered before, since the 80s, and a lot of them have fallen into disrepair, I will pick them up quite cheap, as a wrecked car is, and I'll completely restore them.
Wow.
And so this is my actual second one, and I'm in the process of doing a third one at the moment. And I just love doing up cars, and they're so easy.
Can we have a look at whatever's running it?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, there it is. What is that? says Toyota on the top.
Yep, so that's a little 4K motor out of a, say, a 1970 Corolla.
So it's bulletproof.
Very much so. Proven over the last 50 years to be reliable.
These little extra bits here, is that something you've made yourself? Or?
Yes, well, I'm a machinist by trade,
Oh, yes.
fitter and turner, so as problems arose, I would figure it out and make up bits and pieces. I had unlimited access to aluminium. The place I worked at the time was a marine super yacht repair place, and so I could just do stuff after work, and so I made all overflow tanks, battery clamps, the remote oil filter system, right down to the boss holding the steering wheel on and the shifter knob, and all of this has been handmade as well.
Did you make the radiator?
No, that one I bought.
Oh, okay.
I can't.
I love the slope. I suppose that's the only way you can get it in there.
Yeah, well, you can see that it just hits, but
okay.
you want to get as much airflow into that radiator to keep everything cool.
No, outstanding. Outstanding.
So, yeah, it's...
So the fuel tank's in the back here, this little,
Yep.
What's that, about 30, 40?
I think it's about a 45 litre tank. Jazz fuel cell, it's all foam, got foam inside it. Unfortunately, you've got to use a dipstick to find out where your fuel level
Fair
is.
enough. And this magnificent looking arrangement?
Yes, so with the car being satin black, it really doesn't stand out on the road. And so my idea of being squashed by a soccer mum in an SUV is just not a great idea. So that thing is an LED whip aerial, so if you're driving it along the motorways and that, I have it on so you can be seen.
So flat.
Well, it's just glows green. So
Does it? Oh,
because
okay.
if you've got, because a lot of cars
the
now,
car's high vis.
yeah, so cars now are a lot bigger, and this is quite small. So if you're behind, say you're in an SUV and you're behind an Audi and a Commodore or something, and you see what you think is a gap, because you can't see this, at least the aerial gives me a bit of a chance.
Sure.
So they're not going to overtake that car and try and fit in a gap
squash
that's
you
not
out.
there.
Yeah, wow, it's amazing. Yeah. So how long does it take you to get one of these from the time you get it to the time you drive it?
Depending on how far I want to go, you're looking at a half a year to a year.
Oh, okay, that's not bad. We're talking to a bloke before it took us 15 years to get this one.
Well,
not this, but he was restoring a car.
But that's the hobby. I mean, some people love to go out and fish, some people love to watch a TV. I love to do these.
Sure.
And so instead of sitting at home watching TV, I'll go down to the garage and tinker away. And as long as I'm making small steps forward, they're always steps forward.
Excellent. Can I see you in it?
This is going to be interesting, by all means. So the only way to get into these cars is stand on the seat.
Yep. And then sort of melt yourself down.
Down onto the tunnel, and you go.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Like I say, I'm a little bit high at the moment because the seat's got a bit too much padding
Can
in
you reach the ground with your hand? Oh, look at that.
it. Very easy.
So it looks like it's absolute joy to be buzzing around. How many gears have it got? 5?
Yeah, it's a 5-speed.
5, yep.
And yeah, you keep that little 4K spinning up in the high RPM. And yeah, it is an absolute buzz to drive.
So the wind is doing that?
Straight over me.
Yeah, so you're not copping bugs or...
No, and you can adjust these.
Oh, right. Oh, look at
So you can adjust them on the fly as you go.
that. Yeah.
So if you...
So back in the day, a lot of cars, the windscreen you could open up the windscreen, and trucks as well, and old GMCs and things like that, so you got the wind on your face.
Coming up and, that was your air conditioning.
Yeah, that's right, yeah. I see nothing's changed, and this is a windscreen wiper, but doesn't require them.
Yes, well, a lot of the cars when they're first built, people do spec them with a big windscreen.
Oh, yep.
And they have all the aerodynamics of a Volvo or a block of flats, and that's not my idea of fun. So the very first thing I do with them is I'll
Hey Bill,
How you doing?
clear the windscreen off them.
like your program.
Thank you. Yeah.
And so the first thing you do is you get rid of the windscreen, and I've just put these on.
Yeah. I always thought something, these little things, and you see them on all sorts of little cars. They're just fabulous.
The thing is, they actually work better than a big windscreen. So with the big windscreen, you're getting the air eddying around it, and you get quite blown about. But with these things, like you say, it just goes straight over the top. At 100k, it's quite pleasant to be behind.
Well,
A bit more is a bit illegal, so I don't do that.
Yeah, no. I just think this is, for a Kiwi, bit of Kiwi ingenuity, there it all is. There you go, folks. Beautiful. With me is Rex, and Rex,
Yep.
this is a fantastic Holden.
Thank you very much.
It's a EH, is it?
EH, yeah,
Yeah,
64.
And I remember in 1964 I was working for Hutchison's Wholesale, and the salesman got a brand new car, and it was one of these, and we all went down and we were in it and over it. Wow, this is the flashiest thing you've ever seen.
Yeah.
But back in that time, you don't really remember what the Americans were bringing in, because it was all Australian and English. You know,
Yeah.
Morris's and the Austins and Holden and
Good days.
yeah. So tell me about this. It's practically original all the way.
Well, she was a bit of a basket case when I bought it. You know, had a wrong motor in it and wrong wheels and wrong colour. So, yeah, it's been mucking around with it for about 15 years now to get it back to original, totally original.
15 years.
Yeah,
That's a long time.
yeah. Well, I've got another one I've been working on for 20.
Oh,
That's an old
Did
FJ.
you drive this at any of that time?
All the time, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Oh,
the time.
Oh, amazing.
Yep.
It's got a 6-cylinder.
Yep, the original 179 motor in it. It had a 186 when I got it, but they don't come out with the 186, so took that out.
Yeah, the 186 were bulletproof. I just
Oh,
see-
great motor,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But I wanted this car to be totally original.
So and it went. Yeah.
Yeah,
Can we have a look at it?
sure.
179, folks. That was. There was just something odd about that engine, and then they put the 186 in after this, in the next model, the next shape up, and it just made huge difference. And there she is, a 179
Yep,
Holden. Do they make that in Australia?
yeah, yep.
So she's all Aussie.
All Australian. The original three on the tree gearbox, manual.
One thing I remember about having a Holden was the radiator. When
Yeah.
in 19 something or other, I bought a 49, the very first jail bar Holden Ute. And I had her for about a week, and suddenly she's overheating and blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. So I had to pull that radiator out and get it cleaned and put it back in again.
Yeah,
But I just think that same with another Holden I had, about a 64, same problem, radiator. So I'm just wondering if I put a slightly bigger radiator in that one, and it seemed to fix the problem. But do you have any problems with this?
no, I just put the antifreeze in it and it's good as gold, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, excellent,
yeah.
excellent.
You know, new water pump, new frost thermostat, and all good.
You
Yeah,
look in here and you think, I know what's wrong with it, and you fix it.
exactly. Exactly. Just so basic, eh?
Yeah,
No mucking around. You're in there, you can see what's wrong. You know, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out what's wrong with it.
No. Oh, well, let's have a look at that. Jump in.
Two gauges.
Oil generator and temperature. Or
Yeah, temperature won't come on until the motor's seized, eh? Because they never come
really?
on, eh?
Oh, okay.
They never come on.
That's just a light. There's no little. No.
Yeah, just a light.
Yep.
But they don't seize up. They're a good engine.
And the original.
Original motor. Radio? Yeah, valve radio.
And it's got a choke. Oh, yep. there's a
Yeah,
choke.
got the old choke. You know, she's not finished yet. She's still a bit of a project,
Yeah, yep.
but she's coming along.
Awesome.
Got the original heater. I just got to get the knob for it.
Right, right.
Yeah,
The steering wheel with the sort of
yeah,
beat arm. That was a flash steering wheel.
yeah.
Nice.
Beautiful look, eh?
Nice little.
Yeah,
is it
lovely.
Horn there or horn?
Here.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, lovely steering wheel. I put one on my FJ because I just like the look of them.
Oh,
They're
right,
just
right,
pretty. Yeah.
awesome. Can we go for a ride?
Of course.
Excellent.
Jump in, close the door. We won't be doing any skids though. Right along, Colin.
Does that sound like a Holden or what? So how long you had it?
15 years.
15, you say you just
Yep.
finished doing it up?
Yeah, me and my daughter, she helped me build it. Took it back to bare steel 3 times because I've had a couple of different panel beaters that weren't very good, so back to bare steel again.
Right.
Yeah. And then I had a bit of a cancer scare a couple of years ago, so I thought, well, I better get this car done because it won't get finished when I'm dead. So got it done and survived the cancer, and now I'm enjoying it.
Good on you.
Yeah. And you can't beat a place like this, the old Kumeu swap meet car show.
Yeah.
It's great fun.
Did you have any other Holdens in your, before this one?
Oh, I've had 14 EHs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And all my friends were hassling me because I never finished them off, so I thought, oh, well, I better prove it to you as I can, so I'm nearly done this one. Know lots of people here. It's good fun.
What I remember is the door. When you put your arm out the door, there's plenty to lean on.
Yeah, it's good, eh? The window goes down far enough
Yeah.
for your arm to relax there.
So this is made for people who like to put their arms out the window.
Oh, definitely. And you push the rear quarter windows out to let the breeze come on in.
Yeah, that's the one. Yep.
Yeah, great car. It's a shame they weren't made in New Zealand, but never mind.
The Kumuyu Classic Car and Hot Rod Show is held each year in January. We attended the Friday event where most people were just setting up. It's certainly a big event, and this is the first time I've been able to attend. We're usually on our annual 4x4 trek at this time, but COVID put paid to that, so here I am instead. There are so many American classic cars here. Many of them are imported from the States, hence the left hookers. All the popular makes are here: Ford, Chev, Chrysler, Pontiac, Cadillac, as well as Holden, Falcons and the British cars. I think it's just amazing how many classic cars come from around the world. The area here is massive, with the many car clubs setting up camp in their respective areas, including the club that Linda and I belong to, the American Classic Car Club. We of course have got our old Studebaker. There's plenty of food stalls around, and of course plenty of entertainment. Also coming along to this event are the people who have come to sell stuff. It's also a swap meet event, so people come in search of that special part they're looking for. There are many stalls here in that regard, and each have their wares displayed for all to see. They've set aside a special area for all this to happen. It's also a means of entertainment for the crowds of people who will be passing by over the weekend, looking at this and looking at that. So all in all, it's a very well run event, and congratulations to Ken and Desma. They're the people who have organised this unique car event, and good on them. So there you go, the Kumuyu Classic Car and Hot Rod Show.